We're so excited to have you guys here to start your financial journey. Let's open up with a little prayer, okay? Give everybody a chance to kind of sit down. We're going to start prayer here. All right. Father God, we come to you this evening with thanksgiving in our hearts. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy, Father. Thank you for this gathering, Father, this fellowship. We pray there's something to be said, Father, that someone can get mileage out of, Father. Learn something different about their finances. Learn enough they can share with somebody else. We ask you to be with us tonight, Father. In our Son, Jesus' name, amen. All right, you guys excited to be here? Yes. All right. So what do you want to learn tonight? What do you want to learn? We're going to start here in just a second, but what do you want to learn? Let's talk about it. She want to learn about her money. All right. Who else? What do you want to learn tonight? She want to learn how to keep her money. All right. She want to learn how to invest. Anybody else? What do you want to learn tonight? She want to create an effective budget. Now, we kind of changed the terminology a little bit. You say effective budget. What did you call it? A spending plan. Got it? It just sounds better, doesn't it? Who else? What do you want to learn? Feel free to open your mouth. Let's talk about it. Let's go to this table over here. What do you want to learn this next 4 or 5 weeks?
I want to learn, I guess, mainly to invest my money so that I can be a provider for my child as well as have fun with my money.
All right. She want to be a provider and have fun with her money. That's what she says. Anybody else? It's a great time to talk about it. What do you want to learn tonight?
Investment would be not a problem. But what I'm making in retirement, I spend it all. So stop spending.
Stop spending. He says he wants to learn how to stop spending. All right, good deal. Well, I see we got a lot of stuff we're going to cover over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Before I get started, though, let's talk about some of these instructors I want you to meet personally tonight. We've got a ton of them, and they do a great job. The first one I want to start with is Miss Jamil Thomas. Jamil Thomas, can you come to the floor, please? Jamil Thomas. Give her a hand as she's coming. All right. Another one of our instructors. Tell them a little bit about you, Jamil.
Welcome, everyone. I am Jamil Thomas, and I was blessed years ago to be in Deacon Thomas's first Money Matters class. And I have now been a part of the team for quite some time, and I get to educate you all on real estate investments, how to grow wealth through real estate, and I also am your communication specialist during this time. So if you're not getting emails, things like that, let me know. This class has been a real blessing to my life. I was able to retire early from, I know y'all think I'm 12, I'm not. I was able to retire early, and so right now my husband and I have a 3-year-old that I really get to enjoy spending time with because I'm not stressed out about work. I get to enjoy the things that I do now, and a big part of that is because of Deacon Thomas teaching us how to utilize and execute our financial literacy strategy. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamil. Thank you. Corey Thomas, stand up back. That's Corey. That's her husband back there named Corey. They got an interesting story. When they were dating, she told him she would not marry him until he goes to a Money Matters class. Is that right, Corey? All right. Jamil also is a real estate professional. She kind of is an owner in an own real estate firm. These guys are so humble, but they're really, really documented at what they do. They're going to give you all the inside scoop on how real estate works. Miss Candace Woodruff, come on up, please. Give her a hand. All right. There you go.
Hey, y'all. How's everybody? All right, wonderful. That's good. See, y'all talking back already, because when I speak, we got to talk to each other, okay? Finance is not always fun, but we always like to have a good time when we're doing it, to enjoy the process. So oh, man, how long has it been? Time flies when you're having fun. I'll calculate for you, but it's been a long time, long enough. I started this class, and I'll tell you, I used to love to spend. I still kind of like to spend. I'm a spender. When we do our money personality, we'll talk more about that. But I used to believe that I work hard for my money, and I believe I should be able to spend it the way I want to spend it and do the things I want to do. Well, That's always cute and all till you get overspent credit cards and you got to control what you're spending because there's no control. So what I learned by taking the class is that it's okay to spend, you just got to have a plan for the spending, right? And every time now when I think about it with the thought process, if I eat, I invest. And where I eat at, I invest in. And the things I do every day, I invest. Because now, whenever I'm doing life, I need my life to be working with me and my money working for me. So it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about cash flow. I'll teach a few sessions. And I do the tax and a lot of the classes. We're going to have a good time. I have a tax and financial services company here in Little Rock, so we'll be able to answer all of those questions, making sure you're on track, and I'll be a lot of your head instructor inside of the class to make sure that all your needs are met, we'll meet early, all the things. So I'm excited, good to be here, and thank y'all for showing up.
All right. Thank you, Candace. As Candace says, she has her own tax firm. She's an expert, guys. She's been doing it a long time. Watch these kids come from, I call them kids, of course. When they started, they were like 7, 8 years younger than what they are now. And I think they're in their early 30s now. But I watch these guys come in, adopt the principles and strategies, and change their lives. So make sure you pick their brain. As you guys know, Pastor Thomas, he's the discipleship pastor. He's not here. I'm going to give him a shout out. David, he's our estate planning attorney. He'll be here later. He's not here tonight. The next guy I want to bring up is real special and close to my heart, Mr. Marcus Gwynn. Marcus Gwynn, I'll tell him a little bit about him. Come on up, Marcus. Marcus is the Marcus is the brain behind Arvest. I'm going to talk about it after you finish talking about it. Okay, go ahead, Marcus. Take it.
Good evening, everyone. Glad you're here. So my name is Marcus Gwynn. I work for Arvest Bank. And obviously, we're proud to sponsor this. So because of Arvest, you guys have the opportunity to attend free of charge. So we love doing that. And so thank God for the small things. But I've been banking now for about 39 years. I know I don't look quite as young as Jamil does. But I have quite a number of years of experience. So I'll be teaching or talking about credit, your credit score, how to read the credit report, and things that you can do to increase your credit score. So stay tuned, all right? Is that okay? All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Marcus, thank you. Like I said, these guys are really humble. Marcus is the second guy in charge in Central Arkansas for Arvest, one of the senior vice president guys. He's going to give us an inside scoop on banking. Anything you want to know about banking, take advantage of him while he's here. Take advantage of the tax people while they're here. Take advantage of the real estate people while they're here. And a little bit about my background. I've been a financial advisor for 35 plus years. I run a firm called Waterstone Financial Partners. We work with companies all across the United States. We set up 401ks. We set up retirement plans. We work with high net worth individuals on investing. Not just high net worth. We work with anybody, but typically focused on high net worth individuals. What I like about Money Matters, I'll give you a little history how it got started. About 13 years ago, as one of the deacons of the church gives away a lot of money. If you guys didn't know that, the church gives away tons of money. They give it away to people that sometimes life happens to. When I say life happens to, they get behind on a car payment, they may have had a bad divorce or something. Life just happens, right? So they govern these mission cases. On every Wednesday night, we have mission cases, and we give money out to our members and people who are not our members, we give money out to. So after one of these mission cases, the pastor asked me, Charles, you in finances, can you create something so our members don't have to come back through this again? I said, Pastor, I'll take a look at it. So we started that about 13 years ago. It started on Saturdays from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. The first Saturday of the month, we teach a class from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, just one class for 4 hours, okay? Pastor was walking through the education center one day, and he sit through the class at that time. He says, wow, man, we got to do this for the whole church. I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, yeah, can you put together something? So we went to the research lab and started working on some stuff. So we created this 6-week course, which now is about 5 weeks. We cut it down to about 5 weeks now. But each week, you guys are going to learn something that can change your lives. So I want to thank St. Mark for being a holistic church, not just on the spiritual side, but the whole man side. Give St. Mark a hand. Give this ministry a hand. Give our pastor a hand, and definitely give our discipleship pastor a big hand. Marcus was sitting in the audience one day as I was coming through church. A lot of times I like to stop and talk to people on the way through the church. And for months, I'd see Marcus sitting there. So I touched him on the shoulder one day, started getting to know who he was, of course, and asked him, since he worked for RVS, he's a member of our church, can you help us out? Can you come in and partner with us? And Marcus, how many years has that been now? About 11 years. So we're thankful for RVS. Give RVS another hand. Free food. Make sure if you got friends that's got kids and stuff, they provide child care. So if you got friends in the next class, make sure they get here, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be a fast-moving class. Marcus, who you got with you over there? I'm sorry. What's his name? Okay. Jonathan, thanks for being here. He's with RVS too. All right. Let's go ahead and try to get started here. Here's our hopes for you. You will reflect on your relationship with God and your money. You will discover tools to enable you to manage your finances rather than allowing your finances to manage you. You will leave with a deep sense of confidence with God's help that you can do this. That's our hope for you. If you pay attention to our strategies, I promise you they will change your life. A long time ago, a mentor of mine told me, if you can change your thinking, it's real important, you can change your strategy. And if you can change your strategy, you can change your life. So I'm going to challenge you to change your traditional thinking on how you've been seeing your money, okay? Our mission for this course, personal financial responsibility, overcoming the fear factor. A lot of times we don't do stuff because we don't know the outcome, what that looks like. A lot of times we don't invest because we're afraid, because we don't understand what it looks like. We're going to help you get past that fear factor, build a solid foundation, planning what tomorrow looks like. One of the number one questions we ask people, what does your tomorrow look like? When I say what does your tomorrow look like, what does your next 3 to 5 years look like financially? What does your retirement goals look like? Will you have enough money? Do you know how to calculate how much money you're going to need? See, we're going to take that fear away of you not knowing what tomorrow's look like, because we're going to show you how to figure it out. How to become intentional. See, sometimes from age 25 to about 65, there's a 40-year period in our lives that we mostly work. Will you agree? If the average person or average family only made $50,000 a year and never got a raise, over that 40-year period, they're going to generate about $2 million. So do your own math, okay? If you and your family earn a certain amount of money, do it over the last 40 years, and ask yourself, okay, how much money are you going to earn? Got some tech problems going on up here. Okay. Think about that for a second. If you and your family earn $100,000 a year, over that 40-year period, you're going to have $4 million come through your hands. Here's the question for you tonight. You don't have to hold your hand. Just help me with this question. If you take a look at the last 10 years of your life, whatever amount of money you earned for the last 10 years, let's use that $50,000 figure, that means you earned about $500,000, right? Can the average person right now write a check for 10% of that, which is $50,000? No, they can't, can they? Can the average person write a check for that, of half of that, which is 5% of that money the last 10 years, which is $25,000? Can they just sit down and write a check and give it to you? Most people can't. 1% of the money you've earned for the last 10 years of $50,000 is $5,000. See, most people can't write a check for that $5,000. And that's a travesty. And this class is designed to make you be personally responsible for your money and be intentional so it doesn't happen to your generation. See, we have enough money to go on to the next generation, but we don't know how to do it. Every generation, we start off at zero. When I say starting off at zero, you know what that means? There's no money to pass on to the next generation. And we can stop that if we understand how money works, how to hire your own money to generate money. See, this class, if you listen and pay attention, implement the strategies, your generation can stop starting off at zero. See, we're going to show you how to pay those homes off in 10 or 12 years, 30-year mortgages, how to pay them off in 10 or 12 years. We're going to show you how to pay those student loans off in 3 to 5 years. We're going to show you how to pay all your credit cards and stuff off in 3 to 5 years. You guys want to learn that stuff? But most importantly, we're going to show you how to do it with the same money you're already spending. Write this down. $3.33 a day. I want you to write that down. $3.33 a day, which is $100 a month. And we're going to show you in this class how to find that $100 inside your budget, your spending plan, and how to make that money add velocity, add speed to it, make it go to work for you, okay? We're going to cover all 6 of these areas over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Budgeting, tax planning, banking, how to deal with mortgages, assets dealing with insurance, investing, and retirement planning, okay? Money management is more than budgeting, investing. Money management is a mindset. You got to shift your mindset how you see your money. We're going to talk about that. This class is designed to help you create a blueprint or a plan for managing all your components of your personal money. And this is probably the most important thing on this chart. Can somebody read that to me? What does it say? Read it out loud. Become what? Can somebody tell me what that means? What does a chief financial officer do? Let's talk about that. I'll help you with that. If you work for a company, you have somebody called the CFO, called the chief financial officer. That guy's in charge of making sure those balance sheets are balanced, right? If those balance sheets get out of whack, guess what he's going to do? He's going to cut some costs, isn't he? He's going to make sure that company stays financially healthy, right? See, what I want you to do tonight is to shift your mindset that you are the chief financial officer of your own personal economy, of your own life. I want you to start shifting your mindset right now of what that looks like. And we're going to teach you how to give your money some direction. But you got to shift your mindset on how you see your money. We're going to show you in this class for the next 4 or 5 weeks how to make your money work for you. But we're going to have to dig deep on a couple things first, though. Some of you guys not going to like what we're going to be talking about because we got to find where the money is going. Everybody got that? And that's going to be the exercise I think Candace is going to talk about in the next session. There are about 7 roadblocks why people don't have success. Most have no goals, no financial literacy, debt, poor investments, inflation, taxes, procrastination. Out of 7 major things, which one you think is the number one reason why people don't have financial success? If you've seen the class before, you can't participate. This is all for new participants, okay? He says no financial literacy, debt, no goals. Anybody else? Literacy, debt, go. She says procrastination. He says all of them. You're probably right, but there's one that really stands out. To keep people, what is it? No financial literacy, no goals. One, procrastination. Anybody else? Let's take a look at the right one. Procrastination. It says some people never get around to planning for the future. Procrastination is my sin. It brings me sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. Are some of you guys guilty? Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want you guys to repeat after me this procrastination because when you go through these 5-week classes, I want you to promise me that you're going to become what I call an actionaire. You know what an actionaire is? An actionaire. That's the new word, isn't it? I made it up. It's called an actionaire. See, you can buy all the books. You can watch all the videos. You can go to all the seminars. But if you don't ever take action and put it in application, it's not going to ever happen. Am I right? So my goal in this class is to make all you guys become actionaires. And the only way to do that is that you can't procrastinate, okay? So read this with me. Procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow. That's your promise to me, right? No procrastination, okay? No procrastination. Hey, listen, inside your booklet, you're going to find something called a money personality quiz. Let's open your books up. Let's see which one is which here. Table of contents. Yeah, it's in the black book. This particular book. It's called a money personality quiz. And we're going to want you guys to take that money personality quiz. I'm going to give you about 90 seconds. Just go through and answer the questions. It's called a money personality quiz. Okay? Pages 1 and page 2. Money personality quiz. There's no wrong or right answer. You should have pens and things on your table. Absolutely. Money personality quiz. This is a real important part of the training. Money personality quiz. Got about a minute and 15 seconds left. Just look at it and mark it. Don't get caught up on it. Just look at it and mark it. You know whether it's you or not, okay? Just look at it and mark it. Got about 50 seconds left. What's your money personality? What is your money personality? Got about 20 seconds, and we're going to shut it down. If you finish, throw your hand up. All right. Mrs. Zoe, you're finished in the back? Okay. Read the instructions on how to grade it, okay? Money personality. A, B, C, or D answers. Add up you could be a combination of two different personalities, okay? So we'll go ahead and get started with Zoe. You finished first, right? Zoe, let's talk about your personality. Which one are you? Are you a saver, spender, avoider, or money worrier? Okay, what's your combination? You're a savior and a worrier. Okay. Anybody else that finished? Anyone else finish? Yeah, y'all put too much energy into it. It's just circle it and move on, you know? Real simple. Let's talk about the savers. The saver likes to save money, has financial goals, set priorities, make budgets, and tends to consider luxuries frivolous. Savers may be considered tight-fisted. She says she's also a worrier. Delays dealing with issues related to money to the last minute or is late altogether. hates schedules or budgets, and often feels overwhelmed. Delays knowing tax returns and often forced to pay unnecessary fines. That's you, Zoe? That's you? At times? It has been? Getting much better, isn't it? Now, which class? This is your second or third class? Fourth class. I heard what she said. This is her fourth class. And she's getting better each time. Okay? Who's next? Who's next? Which one are you, ma'am? You're a spender and a worrier. A spender enjoys using money and spends it freely on items that offer pleasure for self and others. Spenders may end up with financial problems such as overdrawn credit limits. Do you give a lot of your money away to friends and family? You hear what she just said? She gives a lot of her money away to friends and family. That's what spenders do. They have a big heart, okay? In this class, we're going to teach you how to say no on a lot of stuff, okay? And we're going to give you a trick way to say no, okay? Who's next? Who's next? Which one are you, ma'am? You're a saver. Okay, she's a saver. Likes to save money, has financial goals, set priorities, makes budgets, and tends to consider luxuries frivolous. Savers may be considered tight-fisted. Are you tight-fisted? I like savers, you know that? But there's a problem with savers. Sometimes they don't know how to have a good time. They don't know how to go on those luxury trips and treat themselves. Is that right, Ms. Dean? You say, I don't really need to do that, right? You hear what she said? Sometimes they don't get their favorite car. They have this luxury car they've been looking at for years. They say, I just don't want to spend the money on it. See, here's what we want you to learn from this class. We want you to learn how to make the money, control and plan your money, but most importantly, we want you to learn how to enjoy the journey. You guys got that? And at the end of this class, you will know how to enjoy the journey and plus do all those things that you really want to do that you're tight-fisted about. We're going to show you strategies how to go on those luxury vacations, how to get that luxury car if you want one, on the same money you're already spending without being stressed out. Everybody got that? Anybody else? Anybody else? Over here. What are you? You are a worrier. Uses excessive energy worrying about finances regardless of financial resources available. You're just never satisfied, are you? Come on now. With the financial thing, you always need more money, right? Yeah, to feel comfortable, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about that. All that's biblical, too. We're going to talk about that, about worriers, about savers, and not understanding how the money game is really played. And that's why the tax side that Candace is going to talk about, and some other stuff she's going to talk about, is really going to open your eyes to where your money is going. So, can somebody tell me, anybody else, before I move on, anybody else on this session? Want to talk about that? Okay, you guys got it, right? Here's the thing. What we found out, and what I found out over this 30-plus years of being a financial advisor, I found there's one major thing that people don't understand about money. And the question is, do you own your lifestyle or are you renting your lifestyle? Did you guys just catch that? Are you owning your lifestyle or are you renting your lifestyle? Can somebody tell me what the difference is of owning your lifestyle and renting your lifestyle? Think about it. Let me help you with that. If you was off work and couldn't work for the next 12 to 24 months, could you keep your car? Could you keep your house? Could you keep any of the things you accumulate that you're paying money on right now? Could you keep those things? And the question, if you can't keep those things, then you're renting your lifestyle. You guys catch that? Because it's not yours. You still rent it. You don't own it. So our goal in here is to help you become owners of your lifestyle. to help you understand that you can own your lifestyle, that you don't have to be in debt 30 years for that mortgage. You don't have to spend the next 20 years on a private student loan to pay it off. You don't have to spend the next 10 years to pay off a public student loan. That there are ways you can make that stuff go away now, okay? So get excited about this ride we're going to be taking over the next 5 weeks. God provides us with the knowledge and tools in the Bible for sound money management. In the New Testament, there are 215 verses pertaining to faith. There are 218 verses pertaining to salvation. But there are 2,084 verses dealing with stewardship and the accountability for money and finances. God spent more times talking about money and finances than faith and love. Is that amazing? Why do you think he did that? Let's talk to me. Talk to me. Why do you think he did that? So you'd be able to do what? She says for you to be able to give. Okay, that's good. Somebody else. Why do you spend so much time talking about money? You can talk back to me. Talk to me. By being prosperous, right? Okay. Somebody open their phones up and go to Matthew 6 and 24 for me. Open your phones up and go to Matthew 6 and 24 for me. I want to make it real clear why God spent so much time talking about money. And please understand, this first 45 minutes is me talking a little bit about the biblical side of what we do. After my 45 minutes, we're going to get into the meat of some other stuff. But biblically, we want to just set the foundation on why understanding your money from a biblical perspective is so important. What does it say? Can somebody read that for me? Oh, stop right there. No man can serve two masters. Go ahead. Or he will hate the one and love the other. Okay. Or he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. See, God knew that money and accumulating wealth could be a major disruption in his relationship with you. So he spent so much time talking about money so you understand that money is just a tool and you just the money managers managing that tool for him. We're going to talk about this a little bit deeper, but that's the part I want you to understand more than anything. There are two basic approaches or points of view regarding how we spend money. There's a cultural way. That's how you spend money every day. And there's a biblical way. Let's take a look at those two views there, okay? The cultural way says that we go out, we get the money, then we go kick it. Yeah, we go out and make a little money. Then what do? We go kick it, don't we? Then we try to repay somebody what's left. That's the cultural way of how we spend our money, or how we see money. We try to save some after that. We give if we got any left. Then we try to plan what to do with it. Is that something? We go out and make the money, kick it, repay a few people, try to save, give, then try to plan what to do with what's left. And then lastly, we dedicate it back to God. Culturally, that's how we spend money. But here's what I want you to do tonight. I've got two cards right here. There is a $25 gift card. $25 gift card to Subway, Panera Bread, Chili's, and there's one to Golden Corral. If you can tell me, if you've seen the class before, you can't participate. Okay? Want to make sure we're clear. Can you tell me the proper way, biblically, we should be handling that in that particular thing? I want you to rearrange these words in the biblical way we should be spending our money. I want you to rearrange them in the right order. I want you to rearrange them in the right order. Who's that? You say give? Okay, you're done. Who's next? He says dedicate. Okay, let's do it in order. Let's do it in order. He's got a mic right there. You said dedicate first? Okay, he's done. Who's next? When I say you're done, you're done. All right. Okay, who's next? Who want to shout at it?
Acquire.
Give her the mic over here, this table right here. Give her the mic. Oh, right here? I'm sorry, you got one right here. Go ahead.
Acquire.
I'm listening.
Oh.
Got to put them all in order.
And then plan.
Keep going.
Okay. Okay, so acquire, plan. We got to get the money. We got to plan the money. Then we got to dedicate.
Keep going.
Okay. Okay, acquire, plan, dedicate. And then we are going to give.
Keep going.
Okay, acquire. And then once we give, we gon' enjoy. Repay?
You're done. Who's next? We had the lady here first, then we come back over here to you, okay? All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So it's acquire, dedicate. No, acquire, plan. Excuse me. Dedicate, give, save, repay.
You done?
and
You done? Who's next? Who's next? Got one back here. Got one back here in the blue.
Acquire, dedicate, save, plan, give,
You done?
repay.
You done? You done? You done? You done? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Anybody else? Who's next?
Okay. Is it acquire, plan?
You done? Who's next? You done? You done?
Oh,
Got
it's
one more.
acquire, dedicate, then plan.
Which one?
Acquire, dedicate, plan, give, save, enjoy, repay.
You done? One more. One more. Who's one more? Who's say? Who's brave? One more person. One more person. One more person. One more person. Teamwork. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm losing my voice. Acquire, dedicate. Sorry, I can't speak. What is it? Acquire, dedicate. Plan, give, save, repay, and enjoy.
Give it to her. She got it. She got it. Let's take a look at it. Let's give her. You want the Golden Corral or the Chili's and all that? Which one you want? Which one? Okay. They got a lot of choices out there. Okay. Congratulations. Let's take a look at them, okay? And I let some of you guys go ahead. You was going wrong. I let you go ahead anyway. All right? And I did that because I didn't want you to help the other person get it right the second time. You got it? See, if I'd have stopped you every time you did it wrong, somebody said, not that one, let me do this one, add over to it. So we kind of got you a little bit on that. But let's take a look at it. It's acquire the money. Got to go get it. Then dedicate it. Got to dedicate it back to God. It belongs to Him. Then plan what we're going to do with it. And the first thing out of your planning should be what? Giving. All right? And then save, repay, and then go kick it. Everybody got it? Let's talk about that just for a second. Now I want you to take a real close look at, after you plan the money, there are two major entries that you should make on your spending plan. The first entry you should make is to give some back to God. The Bible says He wants you to be a cheerful what? Giver. And to me, I'm not telling you to do this because that's what will happen, but I'm going to tell you some biblical truth concerning myself. Before I became a deacon, I gave a little money to the church. I'd come in and put my money like everybody else do, And I was in my dentist chair one day, He said, Charles, are you a tither? I said, nah, not really. I said, but I give. He said, man, you ought to try tithing. I said, that's quite a bit of money to be given to the church. He says, yeah, just try it. He said, trust God. And just try tithing and see what happens. He said, I started tithing about 4 or 5 years ago. He said, my dental practice went up between 25 to 30% in business. I said, you kidding me? He said, yeah, it happened to me. So I stepped out of faith because he encouraged me. And because also I believe that tithing is the right thing, I just never stepped up and did it, okay? So yes, I started, and being a financial advisor, dealing in sales and dealing with people all across the country, my sales went up 40%. 40%. Because I was tithing. Guess what? The wash and dry don't break down as much. The little things you spend money with, the cars don't happen as often. To me, tithing or giving is kind of like putting insurance on your money. You know, over in the Old Testament, he says, I dare you to trust me on this. He says it. So I'm telling you guys that if you're not a tither, I'm not saying start out with that 10% that they require, but start out with something. Grow yourself to 1%, 2%, or 3%, and watch how things start happening in your life, the financial part of your life. See, if you don't tithe, I think you already got a hole in your pocket. That money going to find a way to get out of there. So trust me on this. Start trying to give and tithe and watch what happens to your money. Secondly, after tithing, it says what? Save. On your spending plan, we put together your spending plans, I need you to put saving on there as an expense. I need you to pay yourself first before you pay anybody. Anybody. I'm talking about if you get putting money inside your 401k, your TSP, your 403b, or whatever you're putting money in, that's fine. But that money you're bringing home, I need you to take part of that money and set it aside and save every pay period for yourself before you pay anybody, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I like to call it the 50-30-20 rule, okay? And that's how you manage your money, through a 50-30-20 rule, and you never run out of having money, all right? And, of course, we want you to repay your debts, and most importantly, we want you to enjoy the journey, Ms. Dean. We want you to enjoy that journey. You tight-fisted over there, see? We want you to enjoy the journey, okay? Let's keep moving here. I'm going to talk about two of the areas that we talked about. There are 5 reasons to dedicate money back to God. Number 1, it all belongs to Him. Number 2, you are His money managers. So if the money belongs to Him, then what are you doing? You're managing it, right? Shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. You cannot serve 2 masters. We talked about that. You can make an impact on eternity, because as you give money back, God's going to protect your money. You're going to have more money. You're going to have more money to change eternity in people's lives in the church. Give more, okay? And God bless that which we dedicate to Him. He blesses it because that's trusting your faith. Mark 9:23 says, if you only believe. John 14:14 says, anything you ask for in my name, I will do it. I like to call this the A and B part of your faith. You believed it, you asked for it. Then over in James 2:26 it says, faith without work is what? Dead. That means that you make the first step with your faith. Ask God, and then try to go do something. God's going to meet you there and complete that for you based off your faith. So you got to have strong faith, okay? Plan your spending. Somebody read that for me, 21:5, Proverbs 21:5, very important. 4 planning principles. Number 1, spend less than you earn. Number 2, avoid the use of debt at all costs. Build an emergency fund, and set long-term goals. I want somebody to look up Proverbs 21:5. Who's got the mic? Who's got the mic in the room? Also, I want somebody to pull up Proverbs 6:6-8. Who's got the first one? The plans of the diligent leads to what? Profit. Right? And that other person, what's the second half? Anyone who is reckless certainly becomes poor. So if you're reckless with your money, then you're not going to have some success. They're diligent. Everybody got that? Secondly, who's got Proverbs 6 and 6 to 8? This is real important. This is a good one. Somebody got that for me? Stop right there. He says, go to the ant, you sluggard. Go ahead.
Consider its ways to be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest.
There's an ant, has no overseer. Nobody tell it what to do, but it gathers its food and set food aside in the summer because winter is coming. You got that? Biblically, build an emergency fund. Ants do it. So as humans of a higher intellect, God is telling us to do it. He's using this as a parable to set money aside for your emergencies and stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Hey, listen, this is the first part. We're going to go to lunch. Any questions for me before I sit down? Any questions? Good time for questions. Yes, sir.
In that equation on the last slide,
Uh-huh.
painted views with that.
Would they come in? Yeah, repay. It was repay and then enjoy. It was the last two. She got it right. Repay and then enjoy. Any more questions? Got a question back here. Yeah, it's on YouTube right there as we're talking live. Outside of the class? Yeah, you can actually go back and look at it. It's being broadcast right now across the United States as we speak. Yeah, good question. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am. About to give? You talking about this part? Okay. Well, let's go there. Let's take a look at 2 Corinthians 9 and 6. Okay, the biblical side. Okay, let's go back and take a look at that while they're setting up back there, okay? Let's take a look at that. There you go. Okay.
So my question is, I'm a little confused about the difference of dedicating.
Dedicate is a prayer. It's not actually giving.
Oh, okay.
It's a prayer that, Father God, I'm giving this back to you as you gave it to me. You know, thank you for allowing me to make this. You know, you just prayer and being thankful and giving it back to him. And then the giving is the actual process of giving. Okay. Everybody got that? Good question. Good question. Good question. Any more questions? We're going to line up. Hey, where you guys? Where you want them to line up at to eat, Marcus? Corey, where you want everybody to line up from? We're getting ready to break for lunch. Where do you guys want them to stop at? Line up this way? Okay, good. If you don't have any more questions, guys, you want to line this way through here, and they're going to serve you and circle back to your tables, okay? You've been a good first 45, 50-minute class. Get excited about the next 4 or 5 weeks. It's going to be good. Absolutely. 5 reasons dedicated to God. Okay, let me get it back to you. Yeah. 5 reasons. Okay, you guys want to start? You can line up over here, and let's get it back to eat. We'll probably start back at about 7:05. All right, thank you.
your response is, the family is good. All right? All right, that's pretty good. I didn't make you smile when you say it. All right, we ready now. I'm going to make sure you got nothing in your mouth. We're going to do it together. All right, chew that. Yep, it's good. Is the food good? The food is like, listen, that's what I'm talking about. So how's the family? Listen, one thing we do, that was real good. I ain't even got to do it twice. That was real good. I like y'all. This is a good class. It's real good already. Okay, so one of the things that that we like to do is we eat real good in class. So if you don't come and you don't want to learn nothing, it's cool. Just come to eat. You know what I'm saying? At least we know you showed up and you do good for our numbers, because don't tell Marcus I said it, but I ain't on camera. Oh, no, I ain't on yet. Marcus and them, at RVS, we need our numbers to stay good. So we need y'all to show up so they can keep paying and making sure things go great. Okay, all right, y'all know now. So when you think about after tonight and I give you these assignments, and you like, whoo, she gave me so much, I can't show up next week. Be like, but the food gonna be good, so I gotta show up, okay? No, but seriously, even if I'm getting ready to give you a lot of things, right? We're gonna go over some stuff. Just remember that it's a process. We want to give it to you because the first really two classes is your foundation for the remaining of the classes. If you can get this first couple of classes and get down what we ask you to do, everything else is smooth sailing, okay? Everybody good? Family's good? All right, look, we all right. Okay, let's get started. Let's do it. We won't start with this book. We're going to start in your black book, in your black book. Which book? All right. So as we mentioned earlier, I'm Candace. I'm one of your instructors. I'm going to have a good time. We're going to have fun together. Shout out to the cooks. Who cooked the food, Mr. Marcus? Deacon Jesse. Thank you, Deacon Jesse. Shout out to Deacon Jesse for the wonderful food. He did a great job. Normally, and I'll tell you how we kind of do things, we always like to support our community. So our local businesses is who we cater from. So every time we have a meal, we cater from local businesses because we like to keep them, of course, alive. So we got to eat anyway. Why not eat with people, right, that's in the community? Some of them go to church here, some of them don't. But that's what we do, okay? So with this process, let's go ahead. Everybody get what book? Oh, man, listen, boy, we're going to have some fun. I like this already. In your black book, this is going to be more like your workbook. You're going to work through it. You're going to use it for your process as things that we're going to work together on. That white book we're going to go over in the second part of my session here, and we're going to go through this portion. It's going to be the book that you add things to. You're going to keep that white book even after class. Has anybody taken a class before? Can I get some hands? Okay, do you still have your book? Your white book? If you still have your book, feel free to bring it and just keep adding to it, right, if it's ready. If not, just start over fresh, it's cool. No worries. All right, let's go ahead and go to page. My favorite page, 11. Nope, that ain't it. Somebody said it out loud. 7. Go to page 7. Now, it's a little small, so we're going to send you another one. I don't know what happened. It doesn't even matter. It's small, but we're going to send you another one, okay? So when we send it to your email, likely tomorrow, is that right, Jamil? Tomorrow, when you get your recap email, you'll get this document, and you're welcome to type on it or just reprint it because right now it's a little short, and it's okay. We'll work with it. But we're going to go through this document, and whenever you're pulling for this document, it's going to be very important that you be honest with not us, but yourself, okay? So let's talk about what's on this document. The first thing is the top layer, right? It says expenses. So what do you spend money on? It talks about due dates. What is the date of the actual bill that's due? And when I say the due date, I didn't say when you paid it. I said when it's due. All right. So we're going to go back to the page, and then it says your monthly payment. How much is the monthly payment that you pay? Some of these bills are bills that are every month. They may change. That's okay. Some of them are actual debts, which means you'll have an interest rate, which is in that fourth column there where it says debt interest rate. You may have to look at your statement. You may have to call the company because you may not know. But you need that interest rate as well as the payoff amount. The only time you'll have a payoff amount is if you have a debt and it's something that can be paid off. Let's talk about an example. You have a car note. A car note has a payoff amount. You may pay monthly $500 a month. But the payoff amount is $12,000. That's what you owe left. Not what you paid originally. What do you owe right now? And you can look at your statements and get that information. We tracking? Everybody on track? Yeah. All right, we good. Pretty simple. It's simple because it's cool for you to nod your head at me right now. But when you start pulling these bills, it's going to get a little hard. You're going to be like, oh, I didn't know, I didn't realize I paid this much stuff every month. We need you to keep pushing through that process. That's why we want to give it to you today so that you got all 7 days to come back. All right? Now with this, let's go through this list of things that we're looking for. Okay? Charity giving. So if you give, because I know you give, and if you're just starting giving, put that number in there because you're giving. Put that amount there because your giving is an expense. Put it there. Your savings, Deacon Thomas just mentioned this, is also an expense. So if you know when you get your check that you pull your money out of that check, make sure you put that in there because that's a part of your money. Now, let me say this real quick. If it's your 401k money, don't put it there because it's out of sight, out of mind. It's already gone when you get your check. Remember that, okay? 401k, TSP, any of your retirement stuff, it's already gone. Don't put it there. All right, everybody together? Rent or mortgage, pretty simple. If you rent, you won't have a payoff amount. If you have a mortgage, you will. The biggest piece that people, I'm going to say slack on, we don't quite get it, is the interest rate and the payoff amounts. But that's the most important thing for your debt plan. So we need you all to get that, okay? All right, what else? Electric bills, water, gas, trash, we got that stuff, right? We know that. We can do that. Phone bill, internet, cool. I ain't got to read to y'all on that, but let's keep scrolling because there's important stuff on here that's real important. Department stores. So just in case Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express didn't cover it, if it's something else, Ulta, Maurice's, JCPenney, whatever it is, put it up there. And if it's something specific or you got additional stuff, guess what? Just add it. Scratch out something that's not there and put something that's there. Don't leave it out just because it's not listed. Oh, so y'all going, oh, okay. All right, we're going to keep going. Here we go. Family and friends. Family and friends. Did Deacon Thomas tell y'all the thing to say? He didn't tell you? The magic words. Ooh, can I tell him, Deacon Thomas? No, it ain't no. Because, see, if I say no, it just sounds like you being mean. And then many of y'all don't know how to say no, no way. Don't play with me. Because they need it. Ray need that money. Like you didn't need it. That's a good one, but I'm going to give you another one. Well, right now I'm working with a new financial advisor. And he said, it ain't in my plan. I can't tie that up right now. I got some other things I'm working on. Ooh, see, you didn't say no. He said no. Blame it on me. We don't care, right? We don't care. Tell them to call me. They ain't never gonna call. I'm being honest. You should come to Money Matters with me and we can get a plan together. Y'all, I'm serious. You should write that down, put a note. It's a real thing, and it's easy to do because it ain't you no more. You can blame it on somebody else. Okay, y'all got that? Family and friends. If you do it consistently, it is a part of your financial plan. Put the numbers there. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Student loans. Now, I always kind of mention this because we got to get a gauge for the class. We don't know who's here. Give me a hand if you do want to hear about student loans. Got it. We will. Okay, no problem. We always got to check. Sometimes, you kind of don't. That's all good. We'll talk about it next week. Okay. Other loans, education loans, got it. Department store is good. Big deals. Okay, we're good. Medical expenses, that's only if it's coming out of your pocket and you got a bill. Prescriptions, that's something that's every month. We got that. I think everything else is pretty. Allowances. Anybody pay their children? Oh, one. Okay, all right. Anybody got a business? 1, 2. Don't be shaming your business. Raise your hand. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anybody need a business? All right, now, that's what I'm talking about. And some of y'all got these side hustles that you hadn't legitimized, and you should. We'll talk about that next time, too. I got you. Yeah. Oh, you got the right one. I know, side hustles and all the things that you don't want the IRS. I had a client tell me the other day, I don't want the IRS in my business. Technically, they give you benefits for having a business. It just means that we need to be more educated. And how about we let the IRS give us benefits for having that small business? It's a real thing. Did you know that in the city of Little Rock alone, there's over 11,000 businesses? It's interesting. Did the research the other day. We got a whole lot to talk about with that. Can you do a side note to mention the BOI for LLCs? It just came to mind, but I ain't got time. Let's scroll today. Scroll for me. Is that it? Child care. Ooh, anybody pay for child care? That's so expensive. My God. Yes, ma'am. Daycare. Yes, ma'am. Pet care. I'm so sorry. I know you love your dog. Ooh, I'm insensitive. I gotta work on it. My facials are terrible. Help me, okay? Pray for Candace and her facials, all right? All right, I'm gonna say that pet is okay if you can afford it, but you know what I'm saying? If this number at the end, scroll down. If this number at the end got a negative sign, we might need to get rid of that dog. We're gonna have to sell him. I'm so sorry. I told y'all we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. But that's a real thing. Sometimes, man, people be in the red talking about a dog going to Petco. You better get it together. Right, amen. You listen, okay? The numbers don't lie. All we're gonna do is follow the numbers. And as the CFO of your life, what's the CFO? The Chief Financial Officer of your life. You're gonna say if you need to get rid of that, whatever it is, or you need to keep that. But that's what happens. When they do layoffs at a company, they say, hey, our numbers are too high, we need to do a layoff. And they cut it, right? Cut things out of the budget. Well, you may have to cut things out of your financial plan, and if the dog is it, I'm just messing with you, honey. I'm giving you a hard time. But you get it, right? She's like, I'm not getting rid of my dog. I understand. I got you. Oh, man, y'all funny. I love it. So the total monthly income is going to be what you bring home. This is very important. If you got your note, just put a note to the side. Do you live off of your gross income? What is your gross income? I didn't get enough people to say no. So what is gross? Let's talk about it. That's it. The money you make before taxes. Now, let me be real clear. What are the taxes? State, federal, FICA, Social Security, Medicare. Good. Now, when we do our next class, I'm going to ask y'all, who is FICA? Make sure you look it up. All right? Okay. Your total income is the net, the money that comes to your paycheck, not your gross. Okay? And then your total monthly expense is all of those expenses inside of the category of your monthly payments. Got it? Total monthly expense is the money in your monthly expenses. How much money are you sending out every month? Once you calculate them, you're going to subtract the monthly income minus the monthly expenses, and it's going to tell you if you're in the negative or the positive. We call it the red or the black. Okay? If you're in the negative, fine. That's where you are right now. We got to work on getting out of the negative, and we'll talk about cash flow in our next session. If you're in the positive, great. What are you doing with your money? Okay? We on track? Simple. This is the most important form you can do. That's why we spent time on it. If you get this form done, we got your back. We can create your debt plan, the whole thing. If you can do this form, I promise you're on track. We together? Everybody gonna do the form? Yeah. All right, you promise I got y'all on video. And I said yes. Okay, this is good. That's called What I Spend. We're gonna send it to you in an email so it's a little bigger for you, and we'll be able to navigate that a little more. From this, we are able to create the spending plan. From this, we get to go through and see what percentages of your money is going where. This form, again, is very important. We just need you to get this form done. And then now I got 10 other things to add to your list. Y'all ready? Oh, okay, y'all caught that? Y'all was like, I don't know if I want 10. Got it. Let's do it. It ain't 10. It's a few more, though. All right, next assignment. You got your pieces of paper, pen. This is the time to write. All right, you're on that page. That's page number what? 7, and we're going to email it. Let me write that down for myself. 7. Okay, perfect. How many of you have a bank account? Raise your hand. And wonderful, because I know you got it with Arvest, and if you don't say nothing, right? Wonderful. Your bank account gets a statement every month. Your August statement just came, yes? Yeah, most times they send you an email, and they don't really send it to you. They say, hey, your statement is ready if you want to go get it. I need you to go get it. Normally, we ask you for 3 months, and for you to do this thing called an audit of your bank account. Now, normally we ask for the 3 months, and they say, Candace, it was with all the other stuff we had to do. Can you pull 3 months and at least go through one? August. It's September, right? Yes, August. And you go through it, what that mean? I want you to get you a highlighter because Arvest provided them. Yes. Go through your bank account, and I want you to, and honestly, if you had different colors, that would be great. Highlight what you spend on food, the number one expense for most people. And then your regular expenses, like the things here, can be in a different color, right? Highlight those. And then I want one other color, or just do a pen and underline it if you want to, but I want one other color for subscriptions. So many of us, we have those subscriptions like Amazon Prime, and then Netflix, and then Hulu, and Peacock. And then we got, what another one? Disney Plus, and plus the extras, and gym memberships. Those are subscriptions. Yes, all of those. So we got 3 highlights or underlining with identifiers. The reason I want you to identify them in different colors is because you get to see where your money went, and it kind of shows up different. I know many of you, I got you on a repeat, many of you don't like to print your stuff, but I'm old school, right? I just look young. I'm old school. My mind, I'm old, okay? So I'm old school. I need you to print it, because when you print it and bring it in, we're not going to judge you, but we are going to peek over and see. So we can see that you did your work. We hang out. This is accountability. Is that okay? Right? We didn't come to be a yes men. We just came to tell you we can do better. You already knew that. And now we're going to say, hey, you ready? And look at it. That's all we're going to do. So let's tell you 3 areas. Food, regular expenses, and subscriptions. Food, regular expenses, and subscriptions. Give me a different color. I don't care what color. Just put them in there and start identifying what you're spending your money on. Okay? We on track? How many months? 3. All right, audit 1, pull 3 statements, and if you get time, do all 3. When I give you the rest of it, then we're going to be like, dang. Can we just do 1 for sure? Okay. Okay. So her question was, I'll repeat, what if I spend everything on my credit card and then I pay that with my bank account, my checking account, and I transfer and pay it from there, right? If you do that, she'll need her credit card statement to be done like her bank account because she's using her credit card as a way to get points and things of that nature and paying it off every month. Yeah, it's a good strategy. All right, Silver, I see you. So that's wonderful. She needs her credit card statement because that's where she's spending her money at. Okay? Same concept, credit card. All right? We're good? Any other questions about this? Any questions about the What I Spend worksheet? Don't be shy. It's okay. We're good? All right, no bad questions. So we're going to audit the bank account. Tell me what 3 things we're highlighting. We got it. Food, regular expenses, and subscriptions. Wonderful. Number 3, track your spending. Ooh, this is one of my favorite activities. I always do it with you, and I find myself, so to teach is to learn twice. So that means every time I get up here and I teach you something, I'm learning as well with you, right? So when we look at it, and I say, okay, we're going to track our expenses. And I get the tracking. I was like, ooh, I ain't spending no more money today because I'm tracking. So I'm going to tell you, be conscious, but don't change your spending habits. If you spend money at the cafeteria, write that down in your notebook or in your notes on your phone, whatever's easiest for you. I text myself. That's just me, because I know it's to me and to my phone, right? Track it. If you buy a piece of gum at the store, track it. The kid's hungry after school, you went to McDonald's. Track it. Everything. Track it. We together? Mm-hmm. You get to watch yourself, but don't change your habits. It's naturally going to happen. You're going to do it anyway. You're going to be like, Candace said I was going to do that. But track it. Because when you're conscious, and what we're creating is money consciousness, it's easy to swipe and not think about it. Oh, I'm just going to swipe, and I know I get another check this week, so it's all good. Swipe. It's a thing, right? Let's just start track everything. We good? All right, that's number 3. So we got the What I Spend worksheet. We got to audit our bank account. We're going to track our spending. And then on page, anybody help me find the W-4? Yep, there it is. It is right after page 14. So page 15. It doesn't have a page number at the bottom, but it's page 15. Do I have anyone with a pension? Your hand? All right, pensions, a couple of them. All right. When I say a pension, that means you're getting money from your retirement pension, and it's going to look similar to this form. Fill this form out anyway, and I'll bring you a new form next week. Jay, you got my back on that? Make sure I get that, please. I'm going to write it. Okay? Pensions have a similar form. It's similar. Not exactly the same, but if you fill this out, you'll already be ahead of schedule. Okay? All right. So your W-4 form, they change every year. When was the last time you visited your W-4? Last year in class, last year in general, 2020. Okay. Class, anybody else? February, good. All right, I heard 5 answers, so that means the other 60 of us either don't know what I'm talking about or hadn't looked at it since you started a job. And that's okay. All right? You be laughing at me, but you know I'm telling the truth. That's what that means. That's all right. That's all right. So listen to me. Listen, I got you. So the W-4 form is that form where you tell your job how much to withhold from your paycheck. Now, we've had countless stories, and I can give them to you because, I have a tax and financial services company. So in tax, people come and they say, well, why didn't my job take no taxes out my check? It is not your job's responsibility to fill your form out correctly. Period. It's your responsibility. You tell them how much to pull out. Well, this form helps you to tell them. So if you owe taxes during the year, guess what? Your form's wrong. If you get too much taxes, like you get big refunds, your form's wrong. It's all good. The goal of tax season is honestly to break even. Okay? Now, I know that makes some people feel some kind of way because it's like, I wanted some money back. I want a refund. I'm going to talk about this in the next session, but refund, let me break it down. Re means again, and fund means money. So the government just gives you your money back because they took your money all year and you overpaid, so now they give you your money back. What if you had your money all year? I'm giving you this precursor because when we talk about it next week, you're going to be in shock when I show you the numbers and how they look. All right? So I need you to fill out your W-4 in advance. Do it. Read it. Read it. It's going to be great. It's not a lot. It's okay. I only need you to do that one page. It's like 3 pages with it. Just do the 1 page for me. And if you have questions, no worries, because we're going to go over it in detail. We good? The W-4. And then you got another one. The state form. Flip over 2 pages. And it says AR4EC. It's the Arkansas Employee Withholding Form. Everybody here lives in Arkansas. Some people online are not. Don't worry about the Arkansas form if you do not live in Arkansas. But everyone else needs the Arkansas form because you pay federal taxes and state taxes, yes? Yes. All right. So your state has a withholding form. Did you know that? 10 out of 60. We're going to be all right. The withholding form for the state means that when you file your taxes and you get a little bit or a lot, it's determining on this form. We're going to fix it. Fill it out, and we're going to do it together next week. Okay? Look, we almost done. Look at that. I think we're doing, come on. Oh, I'm doing real good. I should do the whole session tonight. Okay. What's on the list for assignments? I call them success steps because every small step you take is a step to your success. So the success steps that you have should be 4. What are they? What's number 1? All right. What I spend. Let me add something to your list. It's like a 1. Number 1 is what I spend. Number 1, like A, is who is FICA. Just because I asked and somebody mentioned it and I appreciate that. Who is FICA? Make sure you look it up. I'm going to talk about it next week. So that's 1A. What's number 2? Audit your bank account. Your bank statement, we're going to do at least how many months? 3. Okay. We're gonna pull 3 months, and we're going to audit how many? 1. Perfect. Because if you got time, you're going to do all 3. Great. What's number 3? Track your spending. It's really good. And then number 4 is your W-4. Perfect. And your state form. So W-4 and the state form. Oh, I said that like I ain't got another book. Okay. Number 5. Your white book. Let's do it. Those of you who are online, if you do not have your book, it is okay. We'll send it out in the email to make sure you have it. If you're local, you can pick them up from the church. And there's been times where we send them in the mail. If you need some special accommodations, just let us know. Send us an email. When we email you, you can email us back. When you have questions, email us back. The email will come from Money Matters, okay? The email will come from Money Matters, and we will email you back directly. All right? Okay, white book. Everybody got it? Say got it? Got it. All right, and how's the family? All right, we are good. Okay, imagine you are asleep, then in your deep sleep. You in your deep sleep is real good. You had a little slob on the pillow, right? And your house caught on fire. Besides your kids, what you gonna grab? My wife, that's cute. My purse. My phone. Okay, she got a important folder. She gonna get it. Y'all gonna think about that? Okay. What else? Your dog. Don't play. That dog gonna get caught in the fire. Oh, Lulu, it's over. Listen, okay. Okay. Anybody else? What you grabbing? My passport. Interesting. I can go out the country when I pick that out. Oh, okay. That's good. The reason we ask this question is because the purpose of this book is so that you have the important information, because the thoughts we want you to think about if something happens to your home is, do you have copies of all your important information? It's a legitimate question. You got them in a file? That's good. What people do you need to contact to get back on your feet? Do you have their contact info? What happens if your phone get burnt up? Can you remember all your important information? That's a big deal. How much will it cost you to actually get copies of your essential documents? And do others have copies of those essential documents? The reason we ask is because some of us will say yes, and then others of us will be like, woo, I need to think about this. I had never thought about that before, right? And so this actual workbook is to help you to pool and compile those things together so that you'll have a copy and then you can have a copy somewhere else, right? So God forbid, but what happens if you suddenly have a bad test, a stroke, heart attack, and you're unable to care for yourself? Can your loved ones come in and know exactly what to do? It's a legitimate question because we have to ask ourselves, if I'm unable to care for myself, who's caring for me? And do they know where all my stuff is? What about your bank accounts? Do they know how to pay your bills to come in? I had a married couple. They've been married like 40 years. And it's wonderful. And the wife is like all over the place. And the husband, he just be like, she has it. But she's all over the place. It's like, okay, well, you let her have it. That's fine, right? And so they have never sat down, and if something happens to her, he knows nothing. He in trouble, right? And when I say he's in trouble, he doesn't know how to go pay the bills. He don't know the logins to the accounts, all the things. And he has this secret bank account that she knows about, but she don't know no login. She don't know nothing. She don't know anything about it. So if something happens to the person in your life, or you and you're single, who's helping you with your process? Where's your information stored? Do your important people know where it is? These are those kind of conversations we're having, and this book is going to help you to solidify those things. Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. All right, so one other question. Let's go back to those bank accounts. Do you have a POD? What is that? That is so good. Payable upon death on your bank account. That means it's like a beneficiary for words that we kind of know for insurance purposes. But it's if something happens to me, who get the money out of my bank account? What if my spouse is not on the bank account? What if me and my spouse something happened, both of us at the same time? What happened with that money? Let's go number 6 on your list. Y'all looking at me funny. At your bank, you will have to contact the bank, and you may have to go in because there's a form. You need a POD on your bank account, even if it's a joint account. POD is payable upon death on your bank account. That's number 6. We're going to talk about it again, but I'd love to see somebody with that document and a copy of it. So get it from the bank. Oh, my God. Y'all, a friend of mine, terrible situation. The son died before the mom. We never like to see that, right? But it happened. He had a POD on the bank account, and the bank changed ownership. They can't find it. We need a copy of that form in that binder. Is that okay? I promise you we can't make these stories up, and things happen every day. And we don't know when our time is. Young people, elder people, everybody's passing away. We don't know our time. Let's just make sure we prepare now while we can. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. What was number 5? White book. White book. I got you. I got some pages for you. She like the whole thing? You start with pages 3 through 5. 3 through 5. 3, 4, and 5 is your first section of your white book. That's number 5. 3 through 5 is the white book, number 5. Number 6 is what? A bank account POD. And you can include, if you desire, making sure you update, and this is not the class for it, but I'm going to tell you anyway, update your beneficiaries if you haven't, right? If you don't have anyone on there, go ahead and update that because it's important. On your job, you have a life insurance plan. Update them. If you have anything outside of your job, just update them, right? This is not the class for that, but since you're doing the POD anyway and you're doing it, go ahead and start the process. Everybody good? All right, Deacon Thomas, I think I got it. We're going to do a recap, and then I think we're ready to be done. That's great. What's number 1?
What I spend worksheet.
Now tell me about the What I Spend worksheet. It's your financial plan, and what does it list? What's it going to do? Okay, I just need y'all talking to me, just making sure you're on track. Okay. Your monthly expenses, everything, and if you got debts, you're going to put your interest rates and the amounts that you owe on it, the remaining due. Good. What's number 2? Audit your bank statements. Audit your bank accounts. If you have multiple, guess what? You got to grab them, okay? We want 3 months, but we need you at least to be sure to audit how many? 1, August. All right? Some of you may have spent more money in August. That's okay because school went back and all that stuff. It's all right. Track it. Okay? Number 3. Track your spending. That's good. Number 3 is track your spending. What does that mean? Write down everything I spend. That's good. Is that Miss Anita? Annette. Miss Annette. Thank you, Miss Annette. That's good. Everything I spend money on, I'm writing it down. Good. That includes today. Let's start today. What you spend money on today? Lunch. Write it down. Go on, write it down now. Oh, that's good. Somebody spend money on some gas. That's good. What else? What I spend money on today? I ain't spending money on nothing today. That's real good. And I said, ooh, I'm eating at Mother Matters. I ain't buying no food. That's good. Stayed at home all day. That's cool. We can work on some no-spend days. There's nothing wrong with that, but I ain't going to add that to your list today. But that's a good goal. Y'all want to add it? Let's have some fun. No spend day. Let's just do a challenge. Let's just do a challenge. They ain't ready for it? They ready? Exceptions. All right, we'll let y'all ride this week. We'll pull it the next week. It's only one day. Boy, y'all got PTSD real fast. I can't spend no money. Nervous, boy, nervous. I ain't gonna kick y'all out of class early. We're gonna keep y'all coming back. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it, okay? Just forget I said it. I ain't gonna say I ain't never going to Money Matters no more. Okay, that's crazy. I'm just kidding. What number we on? 4? What's number 4? Okay. Good. W-4 and the state form. Okay. Good. Number 5. What page is in the white book? 3 to 5. All right. It's pretty simple, right? It's personal info. Not a big deal. Just make sure you write it in. We're good. All right. 3 through 5 in the white workbook, and then number 6. POD. And update any beneficiaries. If you have the time, if you don't mind, do it. We're going to talk about that again, but just so you know. All right. That is good. Are y'all excited about class? Yes. It's going to be good. I'm going to be honest with you. If you do this one thing, because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, we go from financial plans to cash flow to insurance to estate planning all the way to investing, the intro to investing, right? It just sounds like a lot. Finance can be extremely intimidating, which is why I enjoy having fun with it so that we don't feel so afraid. There's an anxiety around finance. Do y'all believe that? We can cut the anxiety with education. We really believe that. The more you learn and the more you get through the process, the less you feel anxious about it. The more you take the class, the less anxious you feel. So us doing the process slowly like this helps to where you don't have to feel overwhelmed. We gave you a lot tonight. You won't get this much anymore. This just helps you to where now it's a flow in the class. So just do this hard work this one time this week, and then everything goes to flow. If you don't get to it, show up anyway. I made a joke about it to come eat for real, but I'm serious. Show up anyway, because we're going to be here to hold your hand through the process, okay? Questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good question. So I'll repeat. She said, if I get a pension and Social Security, do I still need to do the W-4? I'm going to tell you yes. And when we come next week, I'm going to bring you the exact form that looks very similar. It's a W-4P, as in pension. It looks very similar to this one. So if you fill this out, you'll be okay, and we'll work on it together real quickly before class. It's like 2 or 3 of you that get pensions. Yes, ma'am. I got you. Okay? Yes, ma'am. So we'll be sure to get those. If normally people who are retired, they often forget that they pay tax. So those forms are wrong, right? Many times. And if they start owing after they retire, and it's like, why do I owe every year? It makes no sense. It's because you're receiving Social Security and your pension, and then your Social Security can be taxed. And many times that's not being taught. 80%, yes, ma'am, because you got a big pension. That's wonderful, right? It's a good problem to have, but if we're not taught, which we're not, right, we don't understand why you tax me on Social Security, so now I need to do some withdrawals or what they call withholding from my Social Security or more from my pension because now I'm being taxed on Social Security that's not being withheld. So that's a process. That's a tax planning thing. I got you. Yes, ma'am. So we'll get into that. It's going to be great. In retirement, we pay taxes, so it don't go away, y'all. Yes. Yes.
Is that something, like if you're about to have a baby or something like that, is that something to change?
Yes, ma'am.
As soon as that happens?
Great question. So you can, when are you due? Couple weeks, perfect. We're going to change it yesterday. Yes, ma'am. And because you're a married couple, I would love for you both work. You need a W-4 for both of you. I'm going to give you one, I'm going to give you mine, okay? Because if you're married, each of you need a form. That's all I'm going to say. Each of you need a form. Now, we'll fill it out collectively, but each of you need one, and I want you to work through it together so we can do it together. All right? Any other questions? Oh, wrong book. Any other questions?
I wanted to ask you, when you said on your checking account, like I have, each one of my checking accounts, I have one of my kids on there.
Okay.
As a code, so I still need that pay up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. She said, if I have a child or someone on there as a co-person on the account, do I still need a POD? Yes. Yes, even if it's that person. And then put a secondary. So just in case, do you travel with your children, adult children? We all may go places together. We never know. Just put that person and a co if you can. Here you go. Yes, secondary. Secondary person is just if something happens to that person that I have on there first, who the other person would get the funds out of that account. It's okay to put two. And if you, now remember, it's a primary, so you may put two people as 50-50, or a primary is 100%, and a secondary, another 100% if that something happens to the other person. Okay? Good question. Any other questions? All right, Deacon Thomas. I think I did pretty good on time today.
You done?
I am. Come on up.
Let's do it. Give her a hand. All right, give her another hand. She did great. Yeah. Hey, listen, I want to ask you guys a couple questions. I want you to kind of walk with me just for a second. How many of you guys like go on vacations every summer? Most of you. Do you take your spouse or your mother or somebody with you? You take children with you? Okay. Visualize with me just for a second. You get on a plane, you and your spouse, or you get in there by yourself with a couple of kids, and you don't get back home. Where is all the information and who's going to have the information? The reason I'm telling you this is real life, guys. This financial boundary sheet is extremely important. I've been doing this a lot of years. Had a young couple, 2 kids, traveling to Memphis to celebrate, left the kids to grandma's house. And coming back up I-40, 18-wheeler took them out. They didn't get back. Now I want you to visualize that. We got a young couple. They both got 401ks. They both got insurance. They both got in-laws, right? So what's going to happen next? Well, thank God they had a good financial advisor who was working with me. Everything was in place because they took the time to set all those things up, to get advice. So don't play with what we're talking about. It's serious. Okay, it's very serious. I'm going to have a estate planning attorney who's going to come in. He's going to talk a little bit more in detail about how this works and how it works in your family. I don't want to shake you up. I just want you to know that it's real and things happen. Okay, so make sure to find your binder that you fill it out in detail. Secondly, on the cash sheet that Candace went over, sometimes people don't put everything down. When I say everything down, they don't put down the gas. They go back and forth to working. They don't put down when they get their hair and stuff done, their nails or whatever. They don't put down when they go out to eat. They just put their bills down. We want you to put down everything you spend money on, because everything you spend money on comes out of your cash flow, doesn't it? So it has to be in a category that we can say, this is money that's been allocated for this particular category. Everybody get that? So make sure on your cash flow with our spend sheet that you don't leave anything empty. And all on the credit cards and all those things, we're not looking for what you're paying. We're looking for the minimum payment. So you got to call your credit card companies up and find out what the minimum payment is if you don't know what it is. Because we're going to use that later for a strategy to show you how to get out of debt really, really fast, okay? So don't leave anything out. The cigar lounges, stop by the liquor store, whatever you do, put it in a category. Put it in a category, okay? Put it in a category. And I think that if you do that, it's kind of like a computer. You put junk in, you get what out? Junk out. So put the real stuff in. Don't be delusional to yourself. Because it doesn't matter to us, because we just want you to do the right thing for you so you get some real numbers. That makes sense? All right, good. We're going to get Mr. Gwynn to come up, our best man. Come on up, Marcus. And let's find a way to give away this last $25. All right? I'm going to let you ask somebody what is cash flow. How about that?
Okay, so the first person who raises their hand after I ask the question. Oh, okay. So what does CFO means? Chief Financial Officer, you got it. I know I kind of changed the question up, didn't I?
So I'm going to let you close us out tonight. All right. Thank you. Get you guys' attention. We're going to close out. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Don't let the homework and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to close out. Don't let the homework and all that stuff scare you, okay? If you come in here, you don't have your homework, just know I'm going to kick you out, okay? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, Marcus, go ahead and close us out.
And before we close out, we do have extra cookies over there. Was a whole new box back there hiding. So if you like if you enjoyed the cookies, feel free to grab a couple on your way out. All right. So if you would bow with me, please. Lord, we thank you for this awesome opportunity just to say thank you. Lord, we thank you for the time that we had this evening. We thank you for the time that we share. Lord, we always want to thank you for your love, for your grace, and showing up for your mercy. Lord, we thank you that we, over these next several weeks, we'll gain some information. We just ask and pray that we utilize this information to the betterment of your kingdom. And when it's all said and done, we want people to see through us and see you. Lord, these and other blessings we ask and pray in your darling son, Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, brother. Good job.